Good morning. This is the test session of the pilot dealing with the monitoring of hydrological disturbances. I'm Giuseppe Conti from GraphiTech, and other participants to this session are Federico Prandi, Stefano Piffer, Marco Calderan and Alberto De Biasi. We are going to start the test session now and show a few of the basic features that the system is supposed to use when in the pilot scenario. And although this pilot focuses essentially on use of sensors, we still consider that testing low-level services would be very beneficial for the pilot. So moving on to the various item of the test plan, the first item to be tested is cast test 1 that regards the implementation of the catalog services, and this actually requires logging onto the portal and connecting to one of the catalog services available. To do that, I have to click on data sources, then click on new data sources, and then at this point a panel should appear, and below this I have the INGR preset CSW, and if I press to register, then the services now should be available. In fact, if we go to the show data sources, now you can see that the CSW services is available. So the first test can be considered successful. So we place an OK here, and the catalog services has been implemented correctly. The second item to be tested is return a list of corresponding feature for request expressed in a query OGC query language, CSCW. So the task that we have to carry out, it's based on search. So we go for search for metadata. We can see that from the button here we can connect to the correct services that we have added before, and then we can search the OGC rather than ISO application profile or Inspire. So we have set OGC, and then now we can perform a search. In this case I will search for comuni, which means basically there has been some problem with connection. So comuni, which is administrative regions, and then if everything goes fine I should have one data set, one resource, which is okay. This data set, if I click here, I can see that I have the information, and perhaps there is some problem with some of the formatting of the special characters required for Italian, but besides that everything is okay, and so this test can be considered completed correctly, with minor problems at formatting of Italian special characters. Then the third item of the test, again it's essentially like the first one, but it's on ISO 1915, and then based on Inspire application profile. So these are the test 3 and 4, which means that I can do the same search by setting the IGC ISO application profile. So if I perform the search, I should see again the same result as now, and again I can see the window opening with all the information available, and I should be able to perform also the same query using Inspire application profile. So if I hit the search button, then I get again the same response. So the next two can be considered, this next two testing item can be considered successfully achieved. So if we go to here, we can have OK and OK with the same problem of the formatting, which is present in the three of them. So we can also set OK as this one, because this was regarding the OGC ISO application profile. So if we now move to cat test 6, which is the implementation of the portrayal services. If we move on to the portal, the goal is to go and show how we can access various WMS trial services. So if we go to map content, then we can click on the base layer that we are using, which is the world map, and we can see that the overall appearance is working fine, besides some delay in the transmission, probably due to congestion of the network. So we can set the result of this test as OK, and there is no special comment to be made. We then move to CAT test 07, which actually is about testing support of the following WMS operation, which is the get capabilities, the get map of the or get feature info. We can see that if we move here to the workspace, we can see that we have here the list of WMS available, and we can also go to data sources, and if we have defined data sources here, we can also go to WMS, move down here, search for the relevant WMS that we need to use, and then as soon as we go to and select the data sources that we need to have access to, automatically we get the URL, the display layers, the format, the feature input format, and SLD. In this case none is available, and we can see that if we change layer, it correctly changes to the various the various information are correctly updated. So also this test can be considered okay, and therefore passed. If we move on to now CAT test 8, this is about serving different raster format through WMS. For instance, raster format as PNG or JPEG. We can see that if we go, for instance, to the layers, and for instance we have the various map, we can see that we have the various style, and we can also change the type of operation. And to do this, we can see that the format can be changed to JPEG or SVG. Let's try with JPEG. Now the information should come anytime. It's updated. Let's try it with PNG, back to PNG. Actually, since there is a problem here, I will turn on again. Perhaps there is some problem with the bandwidth, with the connection. Let's turn on another layer. It seems probably that there is a problem with the connection because I don't get any response, so I will try to reload the portal. So we move again to the area of interest. We zoom in. Select an area to zoom. It seems as if there were a problem because the layers are not being rendered correctly, so it might be that the server is down for some reason, because we don't see anything at all. If I turn off the base map, I can still see this resulting correctly as expected, but if I select the other ones, these are correctly shown, but not the layer itself. So there must be a problem. Perhaps there is a problem with the server. Okay, so we have a problem here. So I will set this as KO, and I will try to restart the server once more, because I think we have a problem here. Okay, we have requested to restart the services, so let's see what happens now. So we reboot the portal again. So we try once more the same test item. So the portal is back online, and yes, it appears now that we see the services, the images served by the services. So, okay, so that's fine. So we get back to the test plan. We check again. Our goal again, let's try and see, is to serve a different raster format through WMS. So what we do now is that we change format, we try to JPEG, and we see if the server responds correctly, as it seems it's doing now. We have already returned the base level, the part map 1 WMS. We try also with the SVG, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. It's still loading again, probably some problem with the bandwidth, low speed. Working again, and it works fine. So the final test item after rebooting of the services can be considered complete. So we say okay, after requesting to restart services. There was obviously a problem with the services. Now the other test item, it's cat test 9, and that's about accessing the table of content to switch layers on and off. So we go to the table of content, we try to switch a layer off, and at the same time we can also switch other layers on. For instance, this one, let's see what comes out, and it seems that everything is working correctly as expected. So I would say that this test is okay, and it is passed. Now the other test item, which is cat test 10, it's about removing layers. So to do this, we go to the GeoPortal again, and then we go to the data sources, and then we take, for instance, path map WMS, and then we can just remove it, or this way we just remove it from the sources. Or if we go from here, we can see that we can just remove it completely, and we remove it as a resource, and we can see that now it has disappeared from the top. So this seems to be working okay. Okay, then we can move to cat test 11. That was my type. So we should be able to add layers to the map in the following ways: through the OWS get capabilities, through the Brisader catalog search, and through local resources. We can see that to do so we go to tools, then we scroll down to WMS, and we have a list of WMS available, and then we can see that if we select the one, then we have the possibility to register it. And if everything goes fine, in fact we have it here now, and we can also see it as it has appeared now. So the test is again passed, and we can have it as okay here. Then the further item of the test is about changing the opacity of a layer. So we should be able to change the visibility, the appearance of a layer, and this can be done from here. So for instance, let's try and change it, and let's see what happens. We make it very very transparent. Then we get another one, and again we make it very transparent. And as you can see, it seems that it's successfully working. So this can be considered as okay. The next item now, it's test 13, and that's about saving and locally the context as a web map context. There is a WMC and then loading it back. Let's try. So if we go to tools, then we have the WMC. So we set it as an export operation. That's test title. Then we also give an abstract, test abstract, and we also have test keywords. And then we press the save map context, and in fact this has been exported as correctly as XML. Now we should be able to import it again. Let me change the settings of the screen so that we can see that effectively something has changed. So we turn off a few WMS layers, and then we go again to WMC, and we try to get the file, the context file that we had saved. So if we go to the XML, which is WMC, which is the one that I've just saved now, then I have it seen correctly, and then I can just load it, and file imported successfully, and everything seems to be brought up nicely and correctly. So I would consider this test as passed. Okay, and then last we move on to the final stages of the test, which is the possibility to change coordinate reference system, and that's about we try to change from WGS84 to EPSG 3785, which is sphere visualization. So we go again to the portal. Then we go to tools. Right now we are set as WGS84, so we press the button which is responsible for we set the sphere visualization option, and then apply, and let's see what happens. Seems that something should be happening. We should be able to see the results, hopefully. Press the apply button again. I don't get any response. It's probably again a bandwidth problem. I try pressing the apply button, but I get a problem. So this test should be considered as failed because there is no response. And that concludes basically the testing. We will try again to restart the services in case something changes, but at the moment this part of the service of the test must be considered not complete. So what we are trying again now is to restart the portal. Let's see what happens, and we try again to change coordinate reference system. So let's start again from the first image. So now again we try to change from WGS84 to sphere visualization, and then we press the apply button. Let's see what happens. Okay, now something has happened. It seems that now it's working. So we go again to the area of interest. We zoom into Italy, to Trentino, and we can see that the dataset is correctly shown on top of Google's imaging. So that means that the test can be considered complete, and that concludes basically the testing session of this part of the services, which is the low-level services. And then the next part of the test will deal specifically with the sensors, and it will be also performed as a part of a different testing session.